Hello and welcome to the video. We're just a couple of days away from December 1st. What does that mean? 'Tis the season to spend some quality time with naked models. This is family friendly, so we're talking about scale plastic kit models and my third annual Naked Models group build, which runs December 1st through February 28th. And what is a naked model? Just means we're not using paint. There's nothing on the body, so hence naked. And again, that's pretty much the gist of the whole build. You can go as quick and easy as you want, make it a little more challenging. What do I mean? You can go from a snap tight all the way up to a multi-piece, add accessories, aftermarket parts, anything you want, as long as it's not painting, is all good to go. Myself and some others have swapped kits, molded in color kits, so you get different color interiors with your bodies, things like that. We'll go over to the bench, check out some examples, give you some tips and hints here and there. But again, up front here, pretty quick, no paint on your model. Runs December 1st through February 28th. And the only other thing I asked of you is to send in some photos. 3 to 5 photos usually works. I usually pick 2 or 3 from everybody. I prefer like a 1/4 and a 3/4 away, and then maybe one more that just kind of enhances some special part. Maybe you did a bunch of aftermarket somewhere, you can show that off, or a side profile, undercarriage, whichever you want to do there. Again, 3 to 5. If you're adding a lot and have a lot to show off, feel free to send in more, and then I'll just kind of pick that. And I'll do a slideshow at the end of the year with everybody's builds. I may even re-upload some of the previous 2 years videos there to give you guys some ideas and things to get you going on your project if you've never entered here on the Naked Models group build. It is open to YouTubers. If you're on Facebook or you're just a viewer and want to email me some stuff, email me some photos. I've done it before. I've added some other guys that have kind of followed along without a channel or any kind of social media. We've added their photos in at the end with the slideshow. So feel free to participate. It's kind of a high fun, low stress type of a build. A lot of people have fun with it, and I look forward to another stellar year and turnout from everyone. But with that, let's jump over to the bench. I'll give you some examples, a little bit of hints and tips along to go with your build. Alrighty, here we are on the bench, and in front of us we've got some vintage builds. These are all without paint, and that kind of goes into why I started this group build. I'm into vintage kits. Lots of kits were built without paint back in the day, millions of kits, and that's why a lot of them were molded in color. Make it easier on kids or adults, people that have limited availability to paints could still build something, have a cool color, add some color and variety to their shelves without being just all white bone builds, which those are fun as well. Again, millions of kits were built without paint. The second part of it, we are in the middle of the winter here in the US, and again, being restricted to painting outside or something like that really limits your ability to build in the winter, or you're an apartment, or maybe you're sensitive to fumes, things like that. Another way to jump in and enjoy the hobby without the kind of the stress or the worry of dealing with paints. You don't have to worry about scratching the paint if you want to try something new as far as like bare metal foil, things like that. It's just a really kind of low stress, high fun group build, as I said before. Again, we got some examples. Again, these are all just molded in color and build. This one's got some metal flake, 65 MPC Monaco. Great kit there. Again, no paint, just the molded in plastic and chrome. And you got a pretty cool looking model. And we got a 60 Pontiac, kind of a classic screw bottom. Not a whole lot going on. Pretty quick build if you got some screw bottom kits. Again, a little weekend fun. Easy for the kids to jump in on this group build. If you want to kind of introduce some kids. Again, another screw bottom Craftsman kit, all molded in color. It's kind of be an example of like a bone build. Kind of that creamy white. Decals are fine. We're not painting, but decals and things that you can apply are certainly fine here. Good example of that. And then classic 60s kits molded in black. Works great for hot rods, black and chrome always works there as well. And now if you want to step it up from a kind of a solid color right out of the box kit, these are my builds from the previous 2 years. First year I did the 67 Chevelle. It's molded in that metallic blue. And if you spend some time taking care of seam lines, mold lines, and putting a good polish on it, wet sand and polish, you can have a good looking kit. Again, without the use of paint, this polished up real nice. That metallic molded in color, again, why companies were doing it was to give you a chance to add some color and just with a little bit of elbow grease and no fumes or anything like that. You can certainly put together a nice high gloss finish on your model kits. Another thing that I mentioned, as long as you're not painting, it's fine, but I do allow like chrome markers, do door handles, emblems, things like that, just to bring out a little bit of color. We got bare metal foil around the windows. That is fine, kind of same as the decals, things like that. You can even use black wash. I allow that. Just things that highlight without actually painting. I do have some panel liner in the doors and stuff like that. Just how much it brings it out. It breaks up that solid color, but without really kind of making it look like it was painted. So again, that was the first year. Kind of a two-tone blue. It's got the darker blue interior from another kit polished up. That one kind of did the same thing again, mixing kits together with my 32 Vickies. We got a silver plastic body that is again polished, took care of all the seam lines. It's a good way to practice up on your sanding and polishing, get you working through the steps without leaving scratches behind that you can polish out. So we have a silver body, we got black fenders, we got a blue engine, brown interior. Again, no paint used on this. We've got a flat black foil type material that we used for the insert. Again, just a way to challenge yourself without using paints, just a mix and match and just have fun. Again, challenging yourself, kind of an out of the box, try some new techniques with different things, like I said, like the bare metal foil, things like that. So again, great examples of what you can do if you don't want to do just a basic build. Another quick example of things to kind of get the wheels turning as far as ideas is so there's some kind of specialty kits out there like this one. This is a Catch the Cat, and what does that mean? It is molded in this kind of high metal flake body, which is something you probably wouldn't want to paint up. This is a 1 in 12 kits were molded in these specialty colors, so it's kind of a rare kit, hard to get a hold of, and a good way to kind of build and display it without just keeping it in the box. You can kind of enjoy your kind of one-of-a-kind build. There's plenty of these out there. You can check out, I think it was last year or the year before, maybe both years. In my announcement videos, I kind of gave some varieties. There's some dune buggies. There's the Hemi behind glass drag car that does that. All sorts of stuff. And again, you can do whatever you want in this group build, whether you want to do something simple, skill level 1, kind of a snap type build, or you can go with a full, 150, 60 piece kit, add a whole bunch of aftermarket like plug wires, again, the bare metal foils, foil markers, all that is good to go. Just doing these without paint. A lot of these old vintage kits are good examples because they are molded in colors. These are usually molded up in that burgundy or brown type metallic colors. So again, as easy as you want to go, maybe a quick weekend throw together with a snap kit, or you really want to challenge yourself putting together a kit, taking care of all the seam lines, getting them polished up, and creating a really nice looking kit. And again, just to reiterate, for those that want to add a little color to your kit without the use of paint, there is decals. There's all sorts of decals out there for you to use. Whether you just want to add kind of some design work, Maybe you want to do a service vehicle, just add a mural on the trunk or something like that. That's all fine. Kind of puts that plastic color into the background if that's something that you're worried about. Of course, there's always like race car stuff, adding numbers and contingencies, or like drag cars, put a name on the side. You got your class designations, things like that. Of course, just regular old flames or pinstriping, just to kind of add a little bit of something to it if that kind of solid color bothers you. And again, as far as like trim work, foils are again fine. Gold foil here. Here's that flat black finish. If you need to do something flat black, like the vinyl top on my Vicky. Of course, the classic bare metal foils. You got matte aluminum or your gold or your chrome. Anything like that is fine if you want to do some trim work, or maybe change a small part to a different color, like as far as an aluminum or chrome, something like that. That's fine. Just to add anything as far as detail work without making it look painted. Along the same lines as, again, your chrome or gold markers that you get, or the classic Sharpies in a silver or gold or just black. Again, just to highlight your trim, or maybe some gauges, just something small that doesn't stick out. And again, you can panel line things. That really helps break up that kind of monotone color. Just adding those panel lines in there really kind of makes those parts and panels look separated. So with that, hope you guys all jump in, have fun. Again, I'll throw up the slideshows from the last couple years, give you guys some inspiration and some ideas if this is your first time. Again, we're running December 1st through February 28th. Send me in some photos when you are wrapped up, and will be added to the slideshow at the end of the year, again this year. So look forward to seeing what everybody does. And with that, we'll see you next time.